Hey, that's right, it's that one Warhammer YouTuber who reappears every 6 months to drop one 5-minute video promising he'll stay back for a while before disappearing again ultimately. T-Painter. Welcome back. Today I'll be showing you what I've painted in the past year or so. So let's get into it. So here we are at the Holy Land, also known as my painting table, and I'll be going through what I painted. So I'll set them all up here and I'll talk through when I did them and what I was thinking about when I was painting them. Going into the first and most well-known miniature on this channel, it's the Orc Boy that I did the tutorial for. That took me around 10 hours to make. And yeah, he's still looking okay. I still don't know what I was doing with the sand on the base, but otherwise I'm pretty happy. As for other 40k, there isn't a whole lot done in a year. The second one I did was this Terminator who, for the Iron Warriors. I'm pretty happy at him. The battle damage probably could have done a bit better, but overall, it looks alright. Didn't take too long. And, you know, it's a bit mainly dry brushing, but I kind of wanted to look like beaten up and worn. So honestly, I wasn't too angry about that one. This one I'm really happy with. This is my fast miniature I've ever painted, Necron Warrior. And honestly, I could just gone for all silver, but it went way faster. But I had that flare of red and also the little crackles. And honestly, really happy with him. You may have recognized this guy from the base tutorial that I uploaded. So it actually did really well for just a random spur of the moment video. So that's all the 40k. And next up is probably one of my larger collections. It's all of my World War II Americans. I've painted 7 of these guys. They're really fast to paint up. I'd say they probably take about 4 hours of hands-on time each. This is the NCO. Pretty happy with him. Just dropped him there. My first metal miniature ever. He looks okay. I think the texture on his coat wasn't brilliant. He sculpted, so kind of, and still a bit glossy. I didn't get matte varnish for that. I did hand paint all these, not the transfers, the rankings. So you can see the first division symbol there and the rankings. And honestly, that's because they didn't come with transfers, because this is a free frame from World Illustrated. War Games Illustrated. So yeah, get them all done. One of my snipers, okay, add a little bush to his base. And honestly, I'm really happy with this army. So that's half a full section so far done. That's because that's what all came with. I did buy a support box, which came with some heavy weapons and other command units. I've moved some stuff out of the way because I realized how much space it's going to take up. Here's my Civil War stuff. So far, only half a base of Union infantry painted and a single Confederate. I'm not sure if I'm going to say that on YouTube, but anyway, these were really easy to paint up. I love these older sculpts. You can build them either way. I probably will buy more of those over the new ones, because new ones just paint up a little slower. They're a lot better sculpted, but honestly, I just kind of don't mind the simpler look of them. I think they look passable and they paint up so much easier. But yeah, I still have loads because I bought the Battle in a Box. I might go through the Pile of Shame in another video, which is massively grown, even though I have painted almost 50 miniatures, which is a lot compared to my older videos, if you've seen those. Next up is a couple of single figures, just because I don't think they warrant their own segment. We have this guy. He's a Viking from, it's a War Games factory box, but they were bought up by World Games a few years back, so, you know, the figure's pretty well made. The chainmail isn't brilliant. I've bought recently some Saxons from Victrix, and their chainmail is, oh, it's perfect. And I kind of paint those guys up, but I'm pretty happy. The transfer and the shield's awesome, and I usually use them as like a berserker in D&D, but I will use them for some Dark Age combat. And speaking of Victrix, probably one of my better painted miniatures. It's an officer for the British Peninsular Army. I'm really happy how it turned out. I did it for probably a couple hours after I bought the box. Or I didn't buy the box, for Christmas. Honestly, really happy with him and how he looks. Another one of my favourite collections. I've had a D&D campaign running for about 2 years. I've been playing D&D for longer than I have Warhammer, probably 7 years at this point. And here is all of the fantasy focused miniatures I've painted. So first of all, top of the skeleton, he's a 3D print that I bought. I don't have a 3D printer yet, I might get one. Pretty happy how he looks, pretty simple, paint up very fast. A little green aura coming out of his eyes as he's been risen from the dead. A little dungeon or cave base for him. Trump right there. And then we're getting to this, it's an Oathmark box. I will be doing a video and painting this up. I think they're a great alternative to any Games Workshop Orcs box for fantasy battles, the Old World or Age of Sigmar. I think they're really cheap. I think it's €25 for 30. That's pretty good value. I'm pretty happy how he turned out. His face is a little wonky. It's definitely, you can see the difference between the year and a half between painting 2 different orcs. But yeah, fairly happy with him. Then into our party members. First of all, this is Borvik. He's a human rogue. He's the longest, he's among the longest living characters in the group. Really happy with him. He Took a couple hours, just like these extreme highlights on most of them, which I think turned out well. The goggles as well I'm pretty happy with, and yeah, overall, just a nice looking figure. Then going to the rest of the party, one of our newer members of the party, Vesemir, who is, I believe, an elf, although I can't quite remember. He is a Blood Hunter, which is a custom Matt Mercer class, I believe, from D&D Beyond. Really happy. This is using the Minsk and Boo character, which is a guy from Baldur's Gate, and I cut off his head and the mouse. I think it's a mouse. I made it a hamster, and I glued on a Perry Miniatures, I believe it's a War of the Roses helmet, and painted it up. Really happy. Really like the blood effect. Recoil armor. Nice basing. Going to one of my most recently painted miniature, a couple days back, Sishar. This guy is a bullywug, which is like frog folk, and I believe he's a fighter. Really happy because of the fedora that's come from, I believe it's the Pike and Shot box, because that's how it's character. Really happy with the skin, all the highlights. I think he just looks great. And finally, the coolest miniature I probably own. Another 3D printed ball convention. It's a Wendigo. This guy's I literally bought him and immediately painted up in the next day. I was so stoked because the main monster terrorizes my group in my D&D game. Literally session 1, and they keep coming back. Really happy with how he looked, and the skin effects. The horns I probably could do a bit better with, but honestly, for a speed paint job, I think he looks pretty cool. Going into a different scale for the first and last time on my painted miniatures, we got some Epic Warlord French. I haven't based him because I haven't done the second row. I'm halfway through the second row. It's done about a year ago at this point. Really happy how they turned out. Honestly, the first time working at such a small scale, happy with their battle damage, happy with how they look. They just look really nice. So the second row is taking far longer. I think I'm just getting to the end of the base coats. Once that's done, they're shaded, it'll be a breeze to get them done, but still the motivation to finish them so I can base this finally. This is the second last group of miniatures. We have some War of the Roses Perry miniatures. Some just infantry. So we have, these are my individually based ones. I do have some on group bases. We have 4 with individually based, what do you call it? Billhooks, that's what they are. Well, this guy's got a pike or a spear. Really happy how they look as well. And 4 archers. Not much to say with these. Really quick. I did batch painting on these guys, which I'm not a huge fan of, but honestly, you kind of need to when you're working such a volume. And honestly, to get 8 miniatures done in one go was just fantastic. It really felt good to get such a high amount of miniatures done. I'm rerunning out of space here because I've only given myself a couple centimeters of space. But yeah, honestly, looking at these guys, going to the final group, I'm so happy with how much I got done. And finally, my English Civil War Pike and Shot army. These are, I can't quite remember his name, Ralph Hopkins, that's it. So we have 1 individually painted musketeer, who I painted first, pretty happy how he looks. And then 2 bases of pike. So of a 42-man unit, we have 9 done, so we're over a fifth of the way there. Getting there slowly, but honestly, looking at this collection, I'm really happy with how much I've painted. My basing style is very similar for most of them, apart from obviously these kind of cave, this kind of, and the 40k miniatures are different. But like for all the historical and the fancy ones, I've gone for pretty much the same basing scheme. I think it looks pretty good. If you want me to make a video about how I do my basing, let me know in the comments. But honestly, I'm really happy to buy models I've got done. Most of these have been done probably 2023. 2024 has been a bit slower of painting because I didn't really do any modeling for the first like 3 months. I'm only now getting back into painting and all that because I haven't had time for games and whatever. But yeah, now I'm feeling motivated. But I was thinking about 45 of these, maybe 44 or so, were painted in 2023. And I think that's pretty good because I'm a very slow painter. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.